some of us within the West African sub-region are not seeing the essence of ECOWAS because it's supposed to be a body that give free access. Those laws should be incorporated within the Ghanaian local laws because there are new agreements you have reached, bilateral agreements. Now, there are pros and cons. There are advantages and disadvantages that you go into. One of them is what we are seeing now, to be compliant with what you have entered into. You cannot have a multilateral agreement or treaty you have signed and then come back and still retain most of your laws that have implication to what you have signed. And so those are the issues that some of us are looking at, and we are saying then, because we cannot continue to be in a union that is at some other people's detriment. So you are gaining and you don't want the other person to gain. So we are saying, for instance, that Nigeria should not continue to play the big brother. If we are not being equal partners in this relationship called ECOWAS, if we are not going to leave some of our privileges and then get some other privileges that comes with the new market, new economic zone that we have entered, then there is no need of retaining ECOWAS, because what it then means is that individual countries try to protect their citizens.
So are you also of the view that ECOWAS should be scrapped because it has outlived its usefulness? Let us know when we're back shortly.
Look at a young man like you, your breast is even bigger than my wife. Look at this for us. Like Ghana economy. Hey, master. Bema Humbe praise and another ministers.
Yada Productions and Fidelity mobile app in collaboration with the National Theatre present a play titled Red Light.
Yes. The driver crossed the red light and hit her. Is that where we can get a bed for her?
There's no bed though.
Doc, emergency.
Yes. Emergency.
Yeah.
She was knocked down by a car.
Yes. Oh, so is it a hit and run or a run and hit? Just why? Auntie, Jemu Nebeshi, why?
Date 16th November 2019 at the National Theatre. Time 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. Tickets cost 60 cedis single, 100 cedis double. Ticket outlets: Airport Shell, Batuna Total, Frankie's Osu, or call 0268 112 005. Main sponsors: Fidelity mobile app, Loyalty Insurance, Sunny Gold Gary Mix, and Magic Cooker.
A to Z Auto Servicing Limited.
Other sponsors.
It's time to recognize and celebrate businesses making strides in Ghana. It's the 3rd Chamber Business Awards on the theme Digitizing the Ghanaian Economy for Competitive Edge in a Globalized Market. Date 23rd November 2019. Venue Accra International Conference Center. Time is 6 p.m. prompt. Join us at the 3rd Chamber Business Awards as we celebrate successful businesses, applaud great leadership, and honor achievements. Our special guest of honor is His Excellency Alhaji Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia, Vice President of the Republic of Ghana. Nana Dr. Appiah Dankwa the First, President of GNCCI, and the entire chamber looks forward to your presence at
All you know is football.
All you need is freshman capsules.
And Fresh Lady capsules. For hair, that is all we use.
Freshman Capsules enhances male vitality.
Fresh Lady capsules is good for the treatment of menstrual pain.
Fresh Core Capsules is also good for pals.
Fresh products. #live your life.
Takoradi was great.
I am so happy. I'm grateful to TV3 for giving me this opportunity to showcase what I do.
Kumasi was awesome.
This one is extraordinary because it's really fun.
And now, the most amazing and profitable experience.
The TV3 SME and Funding Summit Accra edition is here again. Date Thursday, 5th December 2019 to Sunday, 8th December 2019. Venue
in whose authority the minister appeared before Parliament to provide a specific solution.
Junction Mall, Nungwa.
Expand your network, grow your business.
This week on Music.
In whose authority the minister appeared before Parliament to provide us specific solutions to some of the problems that we face.
Problems
I noticed, yes, he himself admitted to some of the problems like hardships in the system. Act is a list of all the expenditure lines in the budget statement, of which the minister responsible for finance will use as a guide in spending money.
You mentioned roads.
Yes.
Government is going to pay 80% of the fees to contractors. Isn't that good news?
How are they paying it? You say, what I have to do for me to assess as to whether they are going to pay 80% or not is in the numbers. So for me, I do not accept statements from minister saying that 80%.
Would the minister
if I'm to, he has.
You're saying the minister has misled the whole country?
Speak to road contractors. What they have provided here as road arrest is about 1.2 billion Ghana cedis. Road arrest. Arrest is accumulation of debt owned to contractors, and that is what technical terms will call it road arrest. The road arrest in the budget is 1.2 billion Ghana cedis. The amount of money they owe to road contractors is in excess of 4 billion Ghana cedis.
But it's expected that this is going to be a continuous payment.
But he himself, I didn't say that. He said he's going to pay 80%. If you're going to pay 80%, that presupposes the money is sitting there, that he's going to use it to pay. But yet you have, but 80% to begin with, and 80% of 4 billion does not translate to 1.2 billion. So for me, it's not just the talk, it is the action. He himself said this budget is going to be a year of roads. Forget it. It's not supported by the numbers. And I'll take you into the government document. This is not my document, it's the document of the Minister of Finance. And first of all, you can verify. This is the budget statement and economic policy of the government of Ghana for 2020 financial year, on the authority of His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, presented to Parliament.
You may go on.
Okay, we know that all of us as a country, we anytime we buy fuel, you buy diesel, petrol, or LPG, a percentage to road fund, and you contribute 40 pesos. 40 pesos per every liter you consume goes to the road fund. The purpose is that since you're a road user, you should contribute for the maintenance of the road. And that is why we pay for. In the year 2020, this budget statement has said taxes on domestic goods and services, of which road fund levy is bringing in 1.659 billion Ghana cedis. I'm not the one saying it. This according to Appendix 3, Government of Ghana. 1.659, approximately 1.7 billion Ghana cedis. So you find out how much of this money that you are contributing, that I'm contributing, is going to go to road fund. Okay, so you can only see that in the expenditure. You take 1.7 billion Ghana cedis from the taxpayer, and you are telling us that you are going to use the money. It's called a year of growth, a year of roads, and you are only giving 1.1 billion Ghana cedis to the road sector. Do you really mean it?
Well, this is the figure he has put forward for now. So we have no idea.
It is not, budget is not bad for now.
Okay.
Budget is not bad for now.
Of 2020.
Yes.
But projects are continuous.
The projects are continuous. But you see, if you say it's going to be a year of roads, it shouldn't be just words. Back it with money.
With the figures.
With money. And that is why oftentimes we say stuff, and in the course of the year, we have implementation challenges.
Okay.
You see, we have implementation challenges because we don't back it with resources. It's just all talk. And that is why I said this budget's empty. It's all talk. It's not backed with revenue. It's not back resources for them to have. This is an administration that in the year 2017 promised us a list of roads. Nothing happened. 2018 promised us a list of roads, 100 of them, nothing happened. 2019, in fact, I've listed 123 roads in the budget statement. They repeated the same roads in the 2020 budget. Nothing has happened. So why should I expect something to happen?
As far as you're concerned, nothing has happened.
Yes.
So let's look at 2016 when the NDC also said it was a very good year for them. The NDC claimed it focused on infrastructure in 2016.
Right.
The majority also claimed that that infrastructure was mainly ghost infrastructure.
Why? They should
because they wouldn't have to be spending so much on roads now.
They say, and that is the fallacy of the whole matter, because we know that in as much on roads, there is the need for us to maintain the roads. Okay, so when you put a lovely house and you fail to maintain the house, after all, the house will deteriorate.
In 3 years?
Oh, yes, of course.
Even if the road was of good quality?
You see, if you do surface dressing, an engineer will tell you do surface dressing, occasionally potholes comes in.
So you're saying the NDC did focus on roads?
Yes, we did.
But those roads need maintenance.
But it doesn't mean we built all those roads only in 2016. Some of the roads were built in 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016. There are times you have to maintain the roads, and I can tell you. And it is for that reason that in the year 2016, His Excellency President John Mahama, knowing that even though it's an election year, decided to take the bullet and said that, look, we need to increase the levy that is supposed to go to road fund for the purposes of maintaining our roads. And so he decided to increase the road fund levy from 8 pesos to 40 pesos. How many percent increase? Massive. Increase it so that the revenue that is going to accumulate, he will use the money for the purposes of fixing the roads. So by the time he was leaving, he had set up a structure that is bringing such money for the purposes of fixing the roads. Now, after he left, 2017, the government decided to cap the money that is going to go to road fund. 2018, they capped it. 2019, they capped it. And 2020, they are taking about 700 million from road fund. So far, the amount of money they have taken from Ghana road fund alone is in excess of 2 billion Ghana cedis. Sister, let me tell you, that amount is in excess of what Sino Hydro is bringing into our economy for the purposes of fixing the roads.
The Minister for Communications, Ursula Owusu, yesterday, she was encouraging the GRA to sit down with telecommunication companies, and tax on mobile money. Is this something you support?
See, I've always said that she doesn't understand taxes, and it's not for her.
Why not?
They say, look, taxes, profits are always taxed in this country. We have
so she's saying tax more profits.
So you say, if you're a company, and you've registered mobile money, and you are a vendor, and you are a company, it's tax. Your income as profit is taxed already in the system. She has no clue. She has no clue. It's already taxed. If you are an individual and you have to pay income tax, your income is the work that you are doing. So you assess that income, and then you are taxed according to the threshold. And so you assess that income, and then you are taxed according to the... I've always advised her, my friend, that allow it to the Minister for Finance. She has technical people, tax experts who understand the subject matter. She should not go into areas that she has no knowledge about.
Her point is, these companies are making profits upwards of 80 million cedis every month.
But understand the subject matter. She should not go into areas that she has no knowledge about.
Her point is, these companies are making profits upwards of 80 million cedis every month.
But they are taxed already. Every company is taxed, yes, all of them. You see, the truth is that if you are a vendor, before, the mobile telecommunication companies will apply a tax on you and will allow you to be a vendor. You have to either be a registered company or a registered, self-employed. Okay, trading us. Okay, so it's an enterprise or a company. So enterprise and companies, even if you are individual, you have to pay income tax. Enterprise and companies company pays corporate income tax.
But these are
enterprise also pays
vendors. It's not prudent to tax the final profit going to the telcos.
No, I haven't said that. What I've said is that what they are talking about, that the individuals, their income is taxed. And the final profit that goes to the telcos, it feeds into the telcos, their profit. And it's also taxed.
So it fits into their total profit?
Yes, it fits into a total profit. And let me do an illustration.
You're saying the minister does not know this?
She doesn't know this. So if she knows about this, she wouldn't have made that kind of comments. And that is why I'm saying that she should not go to areas that she doesn't know about. I make 100 Ghana cedis. This 100 Ghana cedis, that is profit, probably is shared between the vendor. Okay, so the vendor gets 50, feed into the MTN profit of, let's say, 1,000.
The end of
so they get 1,050. This is taxed. This is a company. It's also taxed. So she's, saying things that probably she has no idea. Unless what I heard, and then I've made this statement, is that government intends to tax operations. It doesn't mean taxing profit.
She actually doesn't
vendors.
Agree with mobile money operations being taxed.
Yes, so
doesn't agree with the consumer bearing
exactly.
Tax.
So if she doesn't agree to it, the profit for the vendors and the profit for the telcos are already taxed. So she should keep quiet about it.
About a month ago, you took her on concerning the CST.
Yes.
She did explain that she wanted you to proceed to court if you found anything wrong. Should we expect further action from you?
Two things. She gave directive to the telcos to actually instructing them on how the CST be applied. And I said, that is not your responsibility. The Revenue Administration Act is specific. It says that matters relating to revenue, and revenue is the lifeblood of a country. You won't allow any sector minister with little knowledge on the issue of, and it's a technical matter, to be instructing on revenue issues. It can have negative impact on revenue. Even if it has positive impact on revenue, that positive impact may distort economic activities. And so those issues of revenue should be left with Ghana Revenue Authority. And this is according to law. And if you check section 1 of the Revenue Administration Act, A and B, is there, black and white. And that is why we started with section 1. And by the way, I sponsored that bill through Parliament and I debated it, and I remember it as if I'm debating it today. And that is why I spoke to her, asked her that please don't go to that area. Don't go to that area. Unfortunately, she won't understand. Oh, no, but what happens is that the telcos, they said that GRA is still going to charge the, telcos on upfront, based on upfront payment. But going forward, telcos are not going to deduct upfront. Whatever it is, the value is the same. You are still going to be, the incidence is on the consumer. It is not on the company. The value is the same.
Honorable, let's move on to Kelny GVG. Government says Kelny GVG has provided the state with some 2.2 billion cedi revenue.
2.2 billion?
Yes.
It's a lie.
Do you support this policy?
It is a lie. My sister, let me tell you something. And 2019 budget statement on revenue. Okay. I have the 2020 budget statement here.
Sure.
Madam, taxes on domestic goods and services, communication service tax, for the whole 2020, this is for next year, it's not even this year. Next year is after they have increased it by 50%. The entire revenue that is going to come is 436 million. The entire revenue, 436 million. 436 million. And she's saying it's brought what, 2.6 billion? How many times that?
But are you impressed by the figures?
You see, this is after 50% increase in the tax. 50% increase in the tax. So what is she talking about? And I'll try and get you the numbers on how much we've had so far on CST dating back 2019. So 2019, the budget projected that communication service tax is going to be 423 million Ghana cedis. After revising the budget, they said it will be 524 million Ghana cedis. In fact, from January, first quarter to third quarter. So from January to September 2019, the actual amount, this is the program, they had programmed to have communications service tax 435, but what they have received here is provisional, is 291 million Ghana cedis. 291 million cedis from January to September. And he's saying that they have provided, Kelny GVG has provided 2 point something billion. Please, They should say that to people that don't understand. It doesn't. It's not the truth.
So you think the
met.
Policy has not brought in enough revenue?
The policy, which policy on the Kelny GVG? It hasn't. We met with the Finance Committee of Parliament, met with the Ghana Revenue Authority, the GRA, and this is what they presented to Parliament on November 7, 2016. If you have CST as a tax item, it confirms with these numbers.
Right.
Okay, so what is he talking about? Okay, I'm a tax practitioner and I know what I'm talking about. She should not go into areas that basically she has little knowledge on. She may have a comfort zone as a lawyer. I respect that. But please, GVG has not brought 2 point something billion Ghana cedis to the people of Ghana. In fact, the state Ghana has paid Kelny GVG to date $70 million, equivalent to 300 and something million Ghana cedis. So the entire revenue that we are getting here is going to Kelny GVG. That's what it is.
Honorable,
sadly.
Honorable, your fellow members of Parliament, of the minority caucus, when the budget was being read, you termed it a bye-bye budget. Does this mean you're not impressed by the contents of the budget?
It's not an impressive budget, and we know that the people of Ghana is going to vote against them, and they are not going to come back because a bad budget deserves an exit. I'm a member of Parliament, and I'm privileged enough to interact with people. The good people of Ghana are so disappointed in this administration. The people that I know, them to be MPP, are so disappointed in the management of by President Akufo-Addo, the management and the handling of this country. And they think that, look, that is not the way to go. People think that the country deserves a change. So someone told me this morning, we are going to vote to change the change that we brought.
What happens if they disappoint you?
I do not think that they will disappoint us. And just like His Excellency the President himself said, when he recently visited Volta region, that God brought MPP so that we'll see the good work of the NDC. He put it that way, if I'm to paraphrase.
The Minister of Finance
we can appreciate the NDC.
Yes, he said the NPP had put 12.2 billion Ghana cedis into the pockets of Ghanaians.
I laugh enter Flag Staff House. And why am I laughing?
Right.
If you just sit down and say that, one, you have provided, BEC subsidy. And so you've put in money in people's pocket. We started paying BEC subsidy. I was privileged to be at the Ministry of Finance. We were paying BEC subsidy, not put money in people's pocket. Is that what he's telling me?
Yeah, the accounting tax relief, financial relief.
We were giving people fertilizers. Okay, fertilizers. In his counting, it as in his budget, he said about 880 billion people. 880 billion people. How many Ghanaians we have? We have 30 billion, 30 million. And he said 880 billion people have benefited from planting for food and jobs.
I think 880 million farmers.
Yes.
That was the figure.
No, 880,000 million. It means 880 billion.
I think they may have been a...
They said that. I don't know. They have said it because the matter we've been discussing is...
Well, it's a simple matter of reasoning it out. How many Ghanaians do we have in this country?
Yes, but you see, it shows a government that is in a hurry to cook numbers, and they overcook, and Ghanaians have found out. This time they have overcooked the numbers.
You're still watching Hot Issues on TV3. We're speaking with a ranking member of Parliament's Finance Committee, Kaysil Atto-Forson. We'll go for a quick break. When we come back, Hot Issues continues. Welcome back. You're still watching Hot Issues on TV3. I am Nwong Falong. We are still speaking with ranking member of Parliament's Finance Committee, Kaysil Atto-Forson. Let's look at total revenue and grants in the budget. The Finance Minister did mention in the first half of 2019, total revenue reached 22.7 billion. We all know that was below the projected target. That's all. The projected target was 26.9 billion, 15% shortfall.
I've always cautioned our Vice President that, look, policy formulation is not a spur of the moment populist policy that you come out and just announce. You have to properly sit down and do some work. Policy formulation is not a comic
So you
relief.
did not agree with the reduction of the benchmark values?
It is not about me agreeing or disagreeing. It is about the pronouncement that he made that it is not going to become, it's going to increase revenue, it's not going to reduce revenue, and import volumes are going to increase. Import volumes are coming down, and then what is happening, revenue is also going down. 2.3 billion. What they have said is that by end year, it is going to be 3 billion Ghana cedis losses. Everything is in disarray. The revenue handles are not doing well. And enough as they were making before. As a result, they are not paying much taxes on corporate income tax. That negative effect that they are making is that they will downsize their employment. And if they downsize, that household is not getting money. So it's creating some hardships in certain homes. And that is also implying that because they are downsizing, they are not paying those workers' salaries, of which they would have deduct personal PAYE, pay as you earn taxes, of which they will pay to the GRA. So revenue is also coming down in that area. What it means also is that you are making imports cheaper at the expense of your of your industries. You think this is a policy that a vice president should announce, and he call himself an economic guru, and so we should
of zero taxes.
Okay, let me tell you something why it's a hoax. We were in this country when the MPP, as part of their manifesto, and again, in opposition, our running mate is the one who actually launched action. Along that lines, what they did was, one, they said they are going to remove the special import levy, reduce the corporate income tax from 20